Real emotion on the face of Serbia's young national team manager, Mladen Krstajic. This only his second competitive game in charge of Serbia. He won the first, win tonight, and they're through to the last 16. Now it's time for the national anthem of Switzerland. Your third World Cup commentary on BBC Radio 5 Live coming your way very shortly from Kaliningrad as the two teams break away and every player starts to shake each other's hands. Brazil 2, Costa Rica 0 earlier on in Group E today. Brazil top of the group on 4 points. Serbia just behind them on 3, having played a game less, obviously. Switzerland on 1 point, and Costa Rica already out on 0 points. The Kaliningrad Stadium is somewhere that England are going to play. They'll face Belgium here next week in the final group game in their group. And as a host city, it is the most westerly of all 11 at Russia 2018. It is a Russian enclave that is sandwiched between Lithuania and Poland. And a little fact for you on that one. 675 miles west of Moscow, it is actually closer to Amsterdam than it is to its nation's capital. Conditions actually, Phil Neville, will be interesting because the pictures we've been watching ahead of the game, it's going to be played under a sort of nice evening skies, quite cool temperatures. The pitch, though, is going to be quite zippy. There's a lot of rain here before the game. It is. I mean, we were looking at the pictures about 2 hours before the game. There's an almighty downpour, and we said straight away it'd be brilliant for the surface. We want a fast game. We want a game with intensity. Both teams like to pass the ball through midfield, so I think that extra zip on the pitch will help them. Not had a 0-0 yet, you said to me before the game. And as soon as you said that, I looked at you and went, oh, Phil, don't say that. Well, it's 25 games, isn't it, already in the World Cup. We've not had a 0. This will not be 0-0. Although Serbia, I've got to say, have won the last 4 1-0. So they don't score many goals. Switzerland, like Chris Sutton said, haven't got a really prolific centre-forward. It will be tight, but I'm going to promise goals. Good. That is very good to hear. Phil Neville with us on 5 Live tonight for Serbia against Switzerland. That Swiss defence, as Chris was saying, only lost one of their last 23 games. That was against Portugal in qualifying in Lisbon, the final group game that sent them into the playoffs where they had to beat Northern Ireland. The only teams to score against them in their last 7 games were Brazil in the first group game here and Spain in one of their warm-up games. So that tells you how good they are at the back. So here are your two teams then for the game tonight. Serbia, one change. Filip Kostic in on the left wing for Adam Ljajic. Vladimir Stojkovic, very experienced goalkeeper between the sticks for Serbia. Branislav Ivanovic winning 105th cap for his country tonight at right back. Alexander Kolarov at left back. Young Nikola Milenkovic, the 20-year-old of Fiorentina, winning just his 5th cap this evening alongside Duško Tosic. Then very familiar names, Milivojevic and Matic in front of them. Dusan Tadic, Filip Kostic wide. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic of Lazio playing in the hole of Alexander Mitrovic. Switzerland's team, Jan Sommer in goal. Back four is Stefan Lichtsteiner, Fabian Schär, Manuel Akanji and Ricardo Rodriguez. Valon Barami and Granit Xhaka in front of them. Shaqiri, Jamaili, Steven Zuber, who scored the goal against Brazil in the 1-1 draw in Rostov-on-Don, and Haris Seferovic, not all that popular, the big front man with the Swiss fans. He was their top scorer in qualifying with 4 goals. and did score in one of the warm-up games against Japan as well. So we're underway in Kaliningrad. Alexander Kolarov is making an early sortie down the left-hand side, feeds a nice ball infield here, and it gets zipped out to the left. Back to Kolarov, back down that touchline. Switzerland are in all white this evening. White shirts, white shorts, white socks with red trim, playing from right to left in this first half as we look at it. And Serbia, almost the opposite, actually, all in bright red with white trim on their kit. Ball is played down the line by Ivanovic. Switzerland get a few bodies in the way. Steven Zuber might have just passed a teammate into trouble there, but Ricardo Rodriguez gets on the ball, clears with his right foot across field. Kolarov tries to control, almost lost it. Shaqiri's there, stumbles over Kolarov, and Serbia get the free kick. Early thoughts from Phil Neville. Well,
it's a big game for Shaqiri and Liechtensteiner down that right-hand side. They had a difficult game against Brazil. They had to spend a lot of time defending against Marcelo, Neymar and Coutinho. Tonight, hopefully you'll see Shaqiri doing what he does best, and that's going forward.
Free kick then for Serbia, first of the game. Kolarov floats it diagonally across the penalty area, headed back towards the far post. Ball drops inside the Swiss area. Mitrovic goes down. What he did there was sort of hook his arm into Valon Barami and then used his weight to go down. Shaqiri's gone down quite easily, but does get the free kick. But Mitrovic there, I mean, nothing going on there in the penalty area, was there, Phil?
No, nothing. We said before the game that actually Serbia are a really big team. You've got Ivanovic, you've got Matic, Milivojevic, Mitrovic. They're all over 6 foot, so there will be a threat from set pieces. Mitrovic just went down too easily there. Barami, no contact whatsoever.
Great job that Valon Barami did in that first game against Brazil. We weren't entirely sure he was going to start the game tonight. Had a slight abductor problem, but he's OK. Stuck to Neymar like glue. I just wonder whether he might keep an eye on Milinkovic-Savic this evening, this 23-year-old who is much sought after, plays his club football for Lazio and now starting to get involved for the national team as well. Switzerland have their first foray forward. Shaqiri's moved into a central position just for now. Passes the ball back to Akanji, just inside their own half, and they're working the ball from left to right. Barami gives it to Fabian Schär of Deportivo La Coruña. On to Stefan Lichtsteiner, who's going to be playing his football in the Premier League next season for Arsenal. He's got that bright green captain's armband wrapped around the left sleeve of his shirt, and it's very gentle at the moment. Serbia just standing off Switzerland. Switzerland bringing it slowly forward down the left-hand side. Akanji with a bit more pace into Shaqiri. Nice bit of skill, gets him away from Matic, lays it off to Akanji. Oh, that's clever from Akanji, little flick. Manages to get past Milinkovic-Savic, gives it to Shaqiri. Shaqiri knocks it sideways to Lichtsteiner, and Lichtsteiner is going to try and beat his man on the outside. He can't do that. Kostic gets in the tackle, but he's given the ball away. Long-range drive goes zipping wide and behind from Granit Xhaka for the Serbian goal kick. 3.5 minutes played on BBC Radio 5 Live. It's Serbia 0, Switzerland 0.
Oh, we've seen Xhaka do that before from long distance, 35, 40 yards. When the ball comes into him, Switzerland have actually started really confident and bright. Shaqiri's coming in off that right-hand side. You cannot allow Xhaka to shoot from long range.
Serbia win their through to the last 16. Switzerland, in that case, would need to beat Costa Rica in the last game and also hope that Brazil lose to Serbia. But don't forget, Serbia may well then rest a few for that final group game. Mitrovic just runs into Akanji, but this is broken nicely for Tadic on the right-hand side. Tadic takes it down to the byline, then turns, just holds it up for Serbia here. Still going, Tadic. Rodriguez sticking with him. Cross comes into the penalty area towards the far post. Good header, Mitrovic, and well saved by Jan Sommer. Rebound comes out to Milinkovic-Savic. Cross back into the area, and Switzerland get enough bodies in the way, and eventually it is whacked clear. But Jan Sommer, busy boy early on.
No, it was a great cross from Milivojevic, and Mitrovic just pulled off the back there of Schär. It's a wonderful whipped-in ball. Mitrovic gets above Schär. It was a brilliant save from Sommer.
Made a couple of good saves, Jan Sommer, in the 1-1 draw against Brazil. One very early on in the game from Paulinho, which we weren't even sure he'd actually got a touch on, first of all. Late one in the second half as well to keep the point. Cross in from Tadic again, and it is in this time from Alexander Mitrovic, who cannot stop scoring goals for Serbia. That is 15 now in his last 18 starts, and they are off to a flyer in Kaliningrad. It is Serbia 1, Switzerland 0.
Well, it's almost identical to the cross before. This time it's Dusan Tadic from this right-hand side. He goes down the line, fakes to shoot with cross with his right foot, cuts back onto his left, and again he just puts it into a really dangerous area. Mitrovic just pulling off the back of Schär, the Swiss centre-back. See, he goes down the line, Tadic pulls back onto his left foot, he just pulls off and gets in front. It's a wonderful header from Mitrovic.
Oh, he looked so sharp this evening, Alexander Mitrovic. Did well with the first header. Jan Sommer saved that one, couldn't save the second one. Great ball in from Dusan Tadic as well. Just watching in the build-up to the goal there, I think it might have been Steven Zuber who lost it for Switzerland, filling it in that left-back position, and that was a bit careless.
Yeah, he took too many touches. It was Ivanovic that took the ball off him, but, you know, it's the second cross. Milivojevic puts the first one in. Mitrovic heads it and Sommer scores. The second one from Tadic was even better, from a better angle, and Mitrovic just powers it into the top left-hand corner. Brilliant start for Serbia.
17 goals, Alexander Mitrovic, for his country. Did really well for them in qualifying, and is now doing really well for them on the big stage in the tournament. 6 goals in qualifying and has one here. And I'm pleased for you as well, Phil, because you promised us, didn't you? You said it wouldn't be 0-0. It's not going to be 0-0.
Well, Serbia are the 1-0 specialist. I wasn't a big fan of Mitrovic when he was at Newcastle, but then he went to Fulham, scored goals, helped Fulham come up from the Championship. He's obviously banging form.
Right, what has Switzerland got in response then? Granit Xhaka immediately and purposely feeds a pass out to the right-hand side. Lichtsteiner into Xherdan Shaqiri, that stocky little figure. Just lays the ball off into midfield. Blerim Dzemaili yet to get into the game. Lichtsteiner jumps and goes down. Play continues. There is Dzemaili, just beaten to it in the end by Kostic, and Kolarov slides in, knocks the ball out of play, and it's a Switzerland throw right-hand side. 7 minutes play. BBC Radio 5 Live at the World Cup. We're also streaming this commentary on the BBC Sport website and app for you this evening. And we have an early goal. If you have just tuned in, Serbia leads Switzerland 1-0. If it stays that way, then Serbia are through to the last 16. We already know Russia are going to be there, Uruguay are going to be there, France are going to be there, Croatia are going to be there. And if Serbia win tonight, they're going to be there as well. Lichtsteiner couldn't quite control the pass. He's tackled. Another throw for Switzerland.
Well, I think it's good for the game, the early goal, because Switzerland now know exactly that they've got to score 2 goals. They can't afford to lose or draw the game, so I think we're going to have a really entertaining game.
Lichtsteiner to Shaqiri. Low, weak cross into the penalty area. Took a slight deflection, though, took the pace off. It's gone behind for the first Switzerland corner of the game, which Shaqiri wants to take. Muscle-bound man in his tight white Swiss shirt just puts the ball down in the quadrant. Serbian fans jeering and whistling as Shaqiri whips this in with his left foot to the near post. Cleared away. Shaqiri scurries back quickly to get to that ball. Lines up a shot, fires it in, hits his own man there, Dzemaili. It caught Dzemaili right in the back of the head. He made the block accidentally. And then Matic is brought to the ground by Akanji. Akanji's claiming that was a fair shoulder charge. Serbia get the free kick.
No, I thought it was a fair shoulder charge between Akanji and Matic, but some strike from Shaqiri there was blocked by his own man, Dzemaili. It's a real fast start. You see the atmosphere in the stadium. I think every match I've seen so far, the atmosphere's been really good.
Oh, it's been a cracking World Cup so far. We hope you're enjoying it on 5 Live. 3 more commentaries coming your way tomorrow. Incredible amount of sport on 5 Live and Sports Extra for you this weekend. Over 40 hours of live sport. I know Phil's a big fan of the cricket. 5th one-day international. 5 Live Sports Extra between England and Australia. We'll have live commentary of the 3rd test between South Africa and England in the rugby. 6 World Cup commentaries over the weekend, including England on Sunday, their 2nd game against Panama in Nizhny Novgorod. John Murray and Chris Moddle have made their way there from Moscow this afternoon on the train. Switzerland then trailing Serbia 1-0, bringing the ball forward with Xhaka. Xhaka to Shaqiri, to Barami. Lichtsteiner again on the right-hand side. So since the goal, it's been all Switzerland in terms of possession. And here they come again with their centre-back, Fabian Schär. To Akanji, out to Rodriguez on the left-hand side. Back into Akanji, and again, very steady pace at the moment. Now Schär is going to go longer. Down the inside left channel, Rodriguez running hard to get there. Ivanovic sticks with him. Rodriguez, though, has taken it off him. He's beaten him down by the byline. Cross it. Oh, and the shot is dragged wide from Dzemaili. Fantastic chance for the equaliser, and it's gone begging.
That was a fantastic pass forward from Schär. Rodriguez, first time he's got forward in the game. Ivanovic is just trying to shepherd the ball out for a corner. Rodriguez wins possession, whips it back to Dzemaili. With his weaker left foot, he's got to hit the target there. It was a really good opportunity. It was really well pulled back from Rodriguez.
Such a feature of the Swiss team, isn't it, for the fullbacks? Rodriguez down the left-hand side, Lichtsteiner down the right.
They both love to get forward. Rodriguez has done it for many years, so too is Lichtsteiner. I think tonight they will have opportunities to do that. Shaqiri's tucking in a lot more.
Kostic now on the left wing for Serbia. Sliding challenge on him from Shah. Ball is out for a Serbian throw. Serbia 1, Switzerland 0. Serbia win. Takes them through to the last 16. And it will be the first time they've won back-to-back games at a World Cup since they did it as Yugoslavia back in 1990, Italia 90. And they made it through to the quarterfinals and eventually lost on penalties to Argentina. Free kick Switzerland, taken quickly. Rodriguez has it on the left-hand side. And again, he just plays back into the feet of Manuel Akanji, who really impressed us in the first game against Brazil. Young centre-back who now plays his club football for Borussia Dortmund. He's on the ball again. Valon Barami's dropped deep now in between the two centre-backs. Plays it sideways to Fabian Shah. Shah, long with his right foot. Dzemaili will chase. Goalkeeper comes a long way, Stojkovic, and grabs it. Second attempt, bounces down, and he picks it up in both hands. And I noticed this in the research about him, though he loves to kiss the ball after every save he makes, Vladimir Stojkovic.
Well, it's a funny superstition, but Switzerland, every time they get possession of the ball, Barami's dropping in to make it a back three, allowing both the fullbacks to get forward. So why does he kiss it?
It is just that. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it can't always work, because sometimes you're not going to save it. It's going to end up in the back of the net. I presume he doesn't kiss it when he's picking it out of the back of the net. The thing that's also just reminded me of as well, it was Milad Mohammadi for Iran who gave that ball a kiss before doing that absolutely ludicrous attempted somersault throw-in in the game against Spain the other night. Long ball forward. Switzerland have tried a few of those. That one's too far for Severovic, and Severovic now has taken a knock on his ankle chasing that, and that looks a little bit sore. Picks himself up, he's okay, and Serbia continue play. 12.5 minutes gone. Blerim Dzemaili trying to win it back for Switzerland. All a bit scrappy inside the Swiss half. They have it now. Shaqiri can't control, and he's livid. He turns around and he gives Lichtsteiner, his skipper, an absolute rocket for a poor pass. Yeah, and it was a simple pass. It was just a 5-yard pass down the line. Switzerland actually kept most possession of the ball up to now. They've dominated possession. They've just been undone by two crosses. One where the keeper saved, and the other one where Mitrovic just fired into the top left-hand corner. Matic in his bright yellow boots, cool in possession of the ball. He had Valon Barami nipping at his heels there, but he's played the pass away. And it's Milenkovic, young centre-back for Serbia, who hooks a ball into midfield. That's now chipped wide to Ivanovic, who controls at full stretch and volleys it straight in, and it's headed powerfully from the edge of the area by Mitrovic, but it drifts over the Swiss bar and behind for a Swiss goal kick. We can see early on that definitely crosses, it must be a weakness for Switzerland. Serbia have done the homework. They've got 3-4 balls out to this right-hand side, and without even hesitation, they put the ball into the box straight away. 13 minutes played. Serbia 1, Switzerland 0. Alexander Mitrovic with the goal for Serbia. Winners in this group will play the runners-up in Group F. That is Germany, Mexico, Sweden, South Korea. Group runner-up in this group will play the winner of that group, and those teams are back in action tomorrow. South Korea, Mexico at 4 o'clock, and Germany, after such a disappointing opening game, kick off at 7 o'clock against Sweden. A game you feel Germany really do have to win, the defending champions. Fabian Schär for Switzerland. Back to his goalkeeper, all in black, Jan Sommer. Finds Schär again, chased down by Mitrovic, chips it forward. Dzemaili's in quite a bit of space here. Centre circle, looking for the runner Seferovic, and didn't get the pass through, and it wasn't all that convincing. Halfway line, Serbia have it. Kostic plays it out wide to the left-hand side, then picks it up again, and Kostic driving into the penalty area, all running out of space, keeps the ball well, scoops it to the far post. Mitrovic brings it down on the end of his right foot. Defender right behind him, two of them now. He might have been fouled there. Well, he feels he was, but he doesn't get the free kick, and Steven Zuber has it now for Switzerland, and Xhaka plays out of defence, and Dzemaili will chase this down the left-hand side. Just beaten to it by Milenkovic. His clearance immediately nodded forward by Zuber, and Seferovic now penalised for the foul there on Tosic, and Serbia get the free kick midway inside their own half. Phil Neville. Oh, it's been a brilliant start to the game. It's end-to-end. The intensity in the game is fantastic. You saw the run there down the left-hand side for Serbia. He just chipped it into the box. I thought Mitrovic was just going to pull the trigger and volley it. He didn't. He took the touch. Just ran out of time and space in the end. Now Milinkovic-Savic here, edge of the Swiss penalty area. It's opening up for him. He's going to hit it, and he's going to pull it wide at pace. Teammate on the right-hand side, Tadic, is just saying to him, how about that, laying that off to me? But he saw the opportunity and decided to have a crack. Yeah,
he was never going to pass it to Tasic on that left-hand side. He saw the glory. He'd done well to get into that position. Rodriguez had broke off because Tasic had gone outside. Milinkovic-Savic just dragged it wide with his shot.
Serbia 1, Switzerland 0. 15 minutes played then in Kaliningrad. Tadic finds Mitrovic. Mitrovic lays it off here to Milinkovic-Savic. Kanji tries to take the ball off him, but he's done well. Gives it to Tadic again. Tadic now running at this Swiss defence on the right-hand side. Down to the byline he goes. Cross took a little deflection. Oh, it's almost over Sommer's head. Comes back to Kostic. Referee had already blown his whistle. Sommer makes the save. Flag had gone up from the assistant referee. So the free kick goes Switzerland's way, and they've taken it quickly.
Well, it's another cross from the right-hand side from Tadic. He's taking Rodriguez down the line. Rodriguez thinks he's going to come back in on his left. This time he goes with his right. I think the ball just drifted out of play, but Mitrovic was the target in the middle again.
Alexander Mitrovic with the goal. Real threat for Serbia so far in this game. And that's why they lead Switzerland 1-0. And as we've been saying, the Swiss don't score masses and masses of goals. A lot of creativity behind their main man, Seferovic. Shaqiri tries to play the ball across here. Ivanovic intercepts for Serbia. Grits his teeth as he clears with his right foot. Barami controls it on the halfway line. And here come Switzerland again down the left-hand side. Zuba, little 1-2 with Shaqiri. And then the ball is not past Shaqiri, and Seferovic nowhere near that. So Serbia are able to come out of defence. Ball is floated down the right-hand side. Tadic wanted to get on the end of that. Switzerland have it back again. Zuba to Shaqiri. Little flick across here to Xhaka. Xhaka couldn't see anyone open ahead of him, so he's gone sideways to the left, and Switzerland are giving it away again. Xhaka gave it away, comes back to win it back, but there was a foul there as he did so. I'm not sure that was by Xhaka, actually, the actual foul, but the free kick has gone to Serbia.
No, it's Rodriguez. He was just pulling. He had his arms wrapped round Tadic there. Xhaka just came to tackle from behind because he'd originally give the ball away, but Rodriguez just had hold of the shirt of Tadic there on that right-hand side.
Just caught another little shot there of Mladen Krstajic, the Serbian manager, 44 years old, just telling his team to slow down and calm down. Very emotional before the game as the national anthem was being played. Second competitive game in charge. Won the first, he's winning the second, and it would suggest, Phil Neville, that international management's just, it's an easy game, it's a piece of cake.
No, it is. For some, you see a lot of new managers going into international football, get off to a bad start. He's got off to a good start, but he's got a good team with good experience.
Yeah. Serbia on the ball. Milenkovic of Fiorentina, closed down by Jamaili, plays it across to Duško Tosic, who currently plays his club football in China. This man, Matic, we all know from Manchester United, that long rangy stride, plays the ball out to Ivanovic. Another cross comes in, chested down, then the overhead kick goes flying wide, and Alexander Mitrovic just going to try from anywhere at the moment. No,
he's full of confidence, he looks sharp, but this time it's a cross from the fullback Ivanovic. It was from deeper area, he controls it on his test, just loops it up. Slightly ambitious there to try the bicycle kick, but shows he's full of confidence.
Serbia 1, Switzerland 0. Phil Neville with us on BBC Radio 5 Live. Chris Sutton, Terry Butcher. Back in the studio with Mark Chapman. More from them at half-time. They'll all be partaking in the World Cup Daily podcast as well, which will be available for you again tomorrow morning. Pablo Zabaleta, he featured on that this morning. He was a very unhappy man, Pablo Zabaleta, Phil, after what happened to Argentina last night.
No, he was devastated at breakfast this morning. Obviously very passionate about Argentina, and I think probably the biggest disappointments of the tournament so far, but they still live to fight another day.
They do. Result earlier on in that group today, Nigeria 2, Iceland 0. Now then, here comes Tadic this time forward for Serbia. Kostic with real pace, pulls that ball back. Tadic actually hadn't continued the run. Akanji was there and clears with his right foot. That'll go out for a Serbian throw. Yeah, Tadic just didn't anticipate the cross coming back from Kostic. Mitrovic was down on the floor because he'd been fouled from the long ball as well. Kolarov, Serbian captain, with the throw into Tadic. That bounced quite high on him, that Tadic. He couldn't quite bring it down. Switzerland cleared at the halfway line. Volleyed forward by Tosic. Mitrovic just barges into Rodriguez. All hustle, bustle and muscle Alexander Mitrovic, really up for this evening. And Switzerland have it back with Jan Sommer. Jan Sommer very nicely, artfully clips the ball out to the right. Lichtsteiner couldn't control Serbia's throw on the left. 20 minutes played. Serbia 1, Switzerland 0. As things stand, Serbia going through to the last 16 tonight, and they wouldn't have to worry about that last group game against Brazil. Kolarov down the left-hand side. Kostic's cross hits the legs of Fabian Schär and goes out for another Serbian throw. Real threat down the flanks from Serbia with Kostic, who's come into the team this evening, down the left-hand side. Tadic down the right. He's won another throw here, Kostic. Lichtsteiner not happy with the decision, swipes his arm in frustration. And Kolarov does exactly the same thing, just throws it into Kostic. Lichtsteiner's right behind him, and then Shaqiri knocks it out, and this time Switzerland get the throw.
Well, Serbia have got a lot of joy down the flanks because I don't think Zuba and Shaqiri like to defend in wide areas, so Shaqiri's playing much inside, so there's lots of space for Kolarov and Ivanovic to get forward. We've seen already crosses are going to cause Switzerland a problem.
Granit Xhaka manages to break up play for Switzerland inside his own half. This is what Ricardo Rodriguez likes to do. Steaming forward down the left, then stops, plays it back to Xhaka. Xhaka to Akanji. And Granit Xhaka able to turn, get on the ball again. And outside of his left boot, just strokes a pass across his own half towards Schär. Schär to Lichtsteiner, down the line to Shaqiri, who's well policed by Kolarov. Comes back to Fabian Schär again. Curls a pass across to Manuel Akanji, gives it to Rodriguez, but again Serbia just staying in their shape, forcing Switzerland back, and again they have to start building up play from deep inside their own half. Here's Barami. Barami across to Akanji, who has wavy pattern shaved into the side of his dark hair. Very cool on the ball though. Mitrovic closing in there, and Akanji takes it away from him, gives it to Rodriguez. Rodriguez's ball in. Shaqiri's able to control it on the edge of the area, flicks it up in the air. He wasn't quite sure what to do with that. Tosic knocks it away. Dzemaili jumps for it, doesn't know where it is, gets it to Shaqiri though, and Shaqiri tries to shoot with the toe poke there from the edge of the box. Then the strike comes in from Lichtsteiner. That's blocked as well. And Tadic clears with his left foot, and here's Mitrovic again. Akanji, good, strong challenge. Knocks it out for the Serbian throw. Yeah,
he looks impressive, Akanji. He's composed on the ball. He defends really well in that situation, but you just see Switzerland, when they get up to the final third, they just need to start looking for Seferovic a little bit more. He's making good runs. Shaqiri has to find him.
You'll be pleased to know, Phil, Manuel Akanji, I found out, is a Manchester United fan.
That's why I like him.
Yeah, exactly. He started well, and his middle name is Obafemi, because his dad was a big fan of Obafemi Martins, who played in England for Newcastle United. So there's a little bit on Akanji, but he's been impressive again. He was good against Brazil. Been good for Switzerland tonight. But they are behind to the early Mitrovic header. Here's that man we were talking about. Akanji. Little give and go here with Zuba. Comes back to Fabian Schär. He's got Barami on his right-hand side. Barami inside his own half. Runs 10 yards to his right. Gives it to Lichtsteiner. Lichtsteiner pass forward. That is very easily cut out by Alexander Kolarov. Kolarov takes it up towards the halfway line. Matic now sliding the pass through. Kolarov was going to chase, decided to give it up because he wasn't going to get there. And Switzerland are able to try and build again with Akanji's seeing a lot of the ball as well as doing his defensive work. He's getting on the ball a lot.
Yeah, Switzerland have dominated possession. 58% they've had so far, and it's the back three of Barami, Schär and Akanji that have dominated it. They just need to have better possession further up the field. I think Serbia will be happy with Switzerland having the ball, just passing it around the back.
Schär gives it to Shaqiri. Now Shaqiri's come a little deeper to try and get Switzerland moving. He curls the ball all the way from right to left and finds Akanji. Misplaced pass this time. Dzemaili couldn't control, but then Matic's ball is no good to Milinkovic-Savic, and Switzerland have it again. Brazil 2-0 winners against Costa Rica earlier on today, topping this group on, well, not at the moment actually, with Serbia ahead. They will take themselves to 6. Brazil will be on 4, Switzerland on 1. And Costa Rica out on 0. Shaqiri into Zuba. Zuba wants it back. Shaqiri can't give it to him, so gives it to Akanji instead. Lots and lots of Swiss possession. Xhaka floating this one into the penalty area. Rodriguez was waiting for it. Tadic back there, had tracked him well. Knocks it behind for the Swiss corner.
No, Tadic did well. He had to stay with the run. Rodriguez. That's the third time he's got forward, Rodriguez. He's going to provide the width on this left-hand side for Switzerland.
20 minutes to go in the first half then in Kaliningrad. Serbia 1, Switzerland 0. Switzerland scored from a set piece against Brazil. The close-range Zuba header. Rodriguez's ball in. Akanji is there, but it was an awkward one for him. He's headed it wide. It was low. It was slightly behind him. He would have done very well to get that on target.
Yeah, it was a weak header from Akanji. He has been impressive so far in this game, the young centre-back. You just feel with Switzerland that they are massively in this game. They're a good team. They like to keep possession of the ball. You can see there being more goals in this game.
Very settled team. 17 of this squad played at the Euros 2 years ago. 14 of them were all together for Brazil 2014. Akanji just makes a rare mistake there, but he gets away with it because Fabian Schär was alongside him. Shaqiri is tackled very strongly by Tosic on the halfway line, but it was a good tackle. It was ball and man, and Kolarov spots a bit of space to go steaming into. As he does so, he goes flying past a big Serbian flag, which is held in the front row of the stands away to his left. Milivojevic wants support. He was in a real tight pocket of space there, but he's worked it well. Kostic goes down, picks himself up again. And Serbia have the ball with their centre-back Tosic. Tosic plays it across to Milenkovic. Now to Ivanovic, who just decides to go first time, high and long with his left foot. Headed away by Akanji. Xhaka was at full stretch and was tackled too strongly by Milivojevic, says our referee Felix Breich. And so that is a free kick to Switzerland.
Well, Milivojevic thought he'd just have a little nibble there on Shaqiri. He actually wins the ball, but he follows through with the trailing leg. Not seen anything yet of Seferovic or Jamali as an attacking threat for Switzerland. They need to get the centre forward and the number 10 Jamali in on the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, this is what the Swiss fans, I mean, we had lunch, Chris Sutton and I, with a couple of Swiss fans ahead of the Brazil game, and we were talking about their options up front. They weren't big fans of Seferovic. He was the guy who was getting booed, actually, by his own fans in the second leg of the World Cup playoff against Northern Ireland. Missed a couple of chances in that game. They got so frustrated with him. Here's Shaqiri on the right-hand side. Shaqiri's low ball in. That's a good one to Zuba. Zuba's first touch just a little too far ahead of him. Tosic and Kolarov deal with the danger. Tosic clears. Lichtsteiner slides in. It deflects off him, and it's out for the throw. Second half of the Brazil game, a young striker called Breel Embolo came on, 21-year-old from Schalke, who's very raw, sort of gangly, lanky, pacey runner, but when he goes through on goal, you're never entirely sure what he's going to do with it. They've also got Mario Gavranovic, who scored lots of goals in the Croatian top division last season, and Josip Drmic of Borussia Mönchengladbach. You're not missing any action at the moment because Luka Milivojevic is down with an injury. Caught one on the back of his right calf, so he's just getting the water and the spray and the treatment. Serbia have time to take a little breather. We're coming up to the half-hour mark. They lead 1-0, Phil. They've looked. I mean, Mitrovic has scored the goal. He's looked good. They look dangerous down the flanks, don't they? But it's, again, watching Switzerland, you just feel, right, how are they going to break Serbia down? Well,
that's the problem for Switzerland. They've actually kept really good possession. They've dominated possession up until the final third, and then you look at the final third, apart from Rodriguez getting down the left-hand side or Lichtsteiner down the right, they've got no threat up front. They've got no speed up front, and I just wonder whether the manager will look at that as the game keeps progressing, because they need to keep threatening in behind.
Nigeria 2, Iceland 0. Was the middle game this afternoon, as Mark Chapman was saying. Makes things very interesting for the final round of games in Group D. Croatia are through on 6 points. Nigeria have 3. Iceland 1, Argentina 1. Argentina have to win that final game against Nigeria and hope that Iceland don't beat Croatia. So there's still a chance for Argentina, but you imagine that Croatia might rest a few. So Lionel Messi and co could be in a spot of bother. You'll hear it in full on 5 Live. This is a nice move. Suba for Switzerland flicks it into the area. Chance, oh, good save down to his right-hand side. It was Jamali with the flick, and Vladimir Stojkovic does the business there for Serbia. Low to his right, got a big hand to it, and palms it behind for a corner.
No, it was good play from Switzerland. It was Zuba that played the ball in behind Milenkovic. I think Jamali's got to score. That's the second chance he's had for Switzerland, Jamali. He's got to get better contact on it, but it was a good save from Stojkovic.
Jumped and went with his right foot there. I wondered whether he might have been able to try and thump it with the left. We'll concentrate on that in a second. Corner for Switzerland, trailing Serbia 1-0 to the far post and headed over the bar by Fabian Schär, one of the Swiss centre-backs.